tribute to Sir C V Raman. National Science Day is celebrated in India on February 28th every year to commemorate the discovery of the Raman effect by Sir C V Raman on February 28, 1928. Even after 96 years of his groundbreaking study on optics and the scattering of light, researchers across the world are still deriving new results from these discoveries. The Raman effect has continuously impacted every field of science, and its role in spectroscopy, medical diagnosis, and material characterization has been phenomenal. Professor Raman was born on November 7, 1888 in Thiruvannaikoil near Tiruchirappalli. His mother's name was Parvati Ammal and his father's name was Chandrasekhar Iyer, who was a school teacher. Raman was the second child. When Sir Raman was 3 years old, his father joined A.V. Narasimha Rao College, Vishakhapatnam as a lecturer in mathematics and physics. He was a great lover of music. Professor Raman matriculated at the age of 11, and at 13 he won a scholarship and joined Presidency College in Madras in 1902. In 1904, he passed his BA exam with first class and a gold medal in physics. Professor Raman was an extraordinary observer. At 16, while doing a routine experiment in his college spectrometer, he observed some diffraction bands. Raman's observations in that routine experiment constituted the subject of his first research paper, which was published in a philosophical magazine, London. When Sir Raman completed his BA education, it was suggested that he go to England for further studies. However, he was rejected since the British surgeon of Madras did not find him physically fit to go to England. In 1907, he gained his MA degree, obtaining the highest distinctions. Around that time, he saw a 13-year-old girl playing Tyagaraja Kirtana on the veena. Against all conventions of that time, he arranged his marriage with her. Her name was Lokasundari. When he was 18 years old, he went to Calcutta to join the finance department there as the assistant accountant general. Even as Professor Raman was working for the accounts department in Calcutta, he found time to do research in the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science. It was founded by Mahendra Lal Sarkar. Doing research in his spare time and with very few facilities, Raman could publish his research paper in a philosophical magazine and physics review. Sir Raman had excellent organizational capacity and had a great vision for future science in India. He started a bulletin of the Indian Association Bulletin, which grew into a full science journal, the Indian Journal of Physics. He would get interested in everything he observed. He would then go into the roots and attempt to understand the mechanism that governed the absurd phenomenon. Raman followed up the recitations he heard his father play on the violin. His papers were on bowed strings, plucked strings, maintenance of vibration, sounds of splashes, and the music from heated metal. This, by no means, is a complete list of his research, even in the field of music alone. He discovered the overtones in the sounds of mridanga and tabla and showed how the richness of these instruments is so much superior to the normal stretched membranes of the Western drums. Professor Raman, during that period, published a paper on acoustical knowledge of ancient Hindu and had already become an international expert on sound and musical instruments. In 1919, Sir Raman joined as a professor in physics at Calicut University. Once, during a sea voyage to Europe, Raman was struck by the blueness of the sea. Others believe that the blueness of the sea is due to the blueness of the sky. Professor Raman did a simple experiment on his European voyage and found that the blueness of the sea was not merely the blueness of the sky seen by reflection. Rather, it was due to molecular scattering by waters of the ocean. On returning to India, Raman initiated research on three different lines: the scattering of light by liquids, scattering of X ray by liquids, and viscosity of liquids. Professor Raman's work on the scattering of light by liquids was one discovery that fetched him the Nobel Prize in Physics, which came to be known as the Raman effect. Involves an exchange of a quantum of energy between a molecule and electromagnetic radiation. His confidence, determination, and working towards specific goals got him the Nobel Prize. In 1922, Professor Raman published a monograph entitled Molecular Diffraction of Light. Other investigations carried out by Raman were the experimental and theoretical studies on the diffraction of light by ultrasonic waves, hypersonic waves, and those by X-rays, IR vibrations in crystals exposed to ordinary light. In 1948, Raman, through studying the spectroscopic behavior of crystals, approached fundamental problems of crystal dynamics in a new manner. His laboratory has been dealing with the structure and properties of diamond, the structure and optical behavior of numerous iridescent substances, feldspar, opal, and pearls. Among this, other interests have been optics of colloids, electrical and magnetic anisotropy, and physiology of human vision. Sir Raman believed that the future of any country rests with its accumulated knowledge and younger generation. Sir C V Raman said, "If you ask me what the greatest industry of a nation is, the key industry, I have no hesitation in saying that it is the production and diffusion of knowledge. There is no nobler work for a man or an institution than to bring up the younger generation in health and strength and in the vigor of intellectual and physical activity." In 1924, Professor Raman was elected as a Fellow of the Royal Society. He was conferred a knighthood by the British government in 1929. He received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1930. The Government of India awarded him the title of Bharat Ratna in 1954, and the Soviet Union honored him with the International Lenin Prize. Some of the other awards and honors received by Raman were the Marchant Medal of Society, Italiana della Science of Rome, Medal of the Royal Society of London, and Franklin Medal of the Franklin Institute of Philadelphia. Raman loved children, and he derived immense pleasure in showing them his museum and laboratories of the Raman Research Institute. He believed that the true wealth of a nation consists not in the gold in the banks, not in factories, but in the intellectual and physical strength of men, women, and children. Towards the end of his life, Sir Raman chose himself to make a recluse. To Raman, scientific activity was a fulfillment of an inner need. His approach to science was one of passion, curiosity, and simplicity. To him, science was based on independent thought with hard work and aesthetic pursuit, and above all, a joyous experience. Raman believed that science can be promoted only by doing it. Raman died on November 21, 1970. As per his desire, he was cremated in the gardens of his institute. After Sir C V Raman, our nation has produced Nobel laureates like Govind Khurana, Subramaniam, Chandrasekhar Venkataramana, Ramakrishna in the field of science. A nation like India, now with a population of 2 million people, has the potential to produce more Nobel laureates, and our nation awaits the next to continue the legacy of great ones. Thank you.